Tonight, murder trial delay. Why closing arguments in the Elfgard-Outred case didn't happen today as expected. Smaller crowd, higher security cost.
This is just very, very dangerous. It's unsanctioned. It should not happen at all.
New numbers from police on the St. Patrick's party response, and more calls to bring an end to the notorious tradition. Plus, 6 years.
We had no plans, we just wanted to help with the homeless crisis.
The Kitchener community that's been transforming homes.
This place has my heart, but housing, yeah, things are very expensive.
And transforming lives. Good evening. There's been a delay at the trial of Elfgard-Outred, the 81-year-old woman accused of killing her husband, Gordon. Jurors arrived in court this afternoon expecting to hear closing arguments from the Crown and the defense, but they were told that wouldn't be happening today. CTV's Krista Simpson was at the courthouse earlier and joins us live tonight with more. Krista.
Tony, the Crown closed its case on Tuesday afternoon. After that, the judge said she did not anticipate any further evidence would be called. So jurors were told to return Wednesday afternoon for closing arguments. However, when they were brought into the courtroom today, the judge told them something unexpected and sudden came up that prevented Elfgard's lawyer from attending court. Jurors were asked to return tomorrow instead to hear closing arguments from both sides. After that, the judge will charge the jurors, and then it's anticipated they will start their deliberations on Friday. The judge reminded jurors today that once they begin deliberations, they have to remain together until they reach a verdict. She suggested they pack a small overnight bag on Friday just in case. Tony.
CTV's Krista Simpson with that update from court. Krista, thank you. Next, some breaking news. There's been a tractor-trailer rollover at the interchange of Highway 6 South and the 401. This has been causing major traffic tie-ups in the area. The OPP say it happened on one of the ramps of Highway 6 South. There are some ramp lane closures and major delays in the area. Again, we're talking about the 401 and the Highway 6 South interchange. Crews are on the scene and cleanup efforts are underway. It's not known if there are any injuries. Police, though, are asking people to use alternate routes and avoid that 401 and Highway 6 South area. They're also asking any witnesses to come forward with any information about that crash. Drugs, cash, and guns have been seized by police from a home in Kitchener. A search warrant brought officers to a home in the Block Line Road and Homer Watson area where they discovered 2 guns, suspected fentanyl, and other drugs, along with $36,000 in cash. Police say one of the guns was reported stolen. A 32-year-old Kitchener man was arrested and charged with a long list of drugs and weapons-related offenses. A higher cost and a smaller crowd. Regional Police shared their final report today on the annual unsanctioned St. Patrick's Street Party in Waterloo's University District, as calls grow for solutions to bring an end to it once and for all. CTV's Heather Senerin reports.
Waterloo Regional Police increasing the effort to disrupt the St. Patrick's Day weekend party, with barriers and tactical teams in elevated position. Some partygoers shocked to see snipers on buildings watching over the unsanctioned gathering. Nearly a month later, at a police services board meeting, regional police are looking back.
At peak, the crowd estimate was 7,500. That's at least 50% less than what we saw last year, which I think is significant, as year over year the trend has been a 50% increase.
Police say their efforts to disperse crowds worked, showing images of the crowd thinning as the afternoon went on.
So within less than an hour, we were able to effectively disperse that crowd in a very controlled and safe manner without having injuries.
The cost of policing the major event area within the University District, $321,000, up by $12,000 this year.
This is just very, very dangerous. It's unsanctioned. It should not happen at all.
The chair of the Police Services Board urges staff to look ahead at what can be done next year to stop the parties altogether.
One of these years, something really horrific's going to happen, and The community will be very rightly upset. We've got to keep trying to end this, not manage it.
Meantime, the police chief says they're working on it.
Moving forward, I think it's crucial that our board agrees we need to connect with the leadership of our post-secondary institutions to continue to look at solutions to mitigate and ultimately end this unsafe, unsanctioned gathering for our community.
According to the deployment report, out of the 51 students charged that weekend, nearly half were from Wilfrid Laurier, with the rest from Guelph and Western, with only 4 from the University of Waterloo. Heather Centerin, CTV News, Waterloo.
Time now for our first look at the weather with Ashley Bacon here in studio. It's been one of those weeks where we're going to hear something very familiar once again today, and that is a lot more rain incoming. In fact, I can hear it over our building right now.
You got it, Tony. I feel like I could press a repeat button on what we've talked about all week. But as you said, rain is continuing through the next day or so. Good news is it looks like we are going to see a bit of sunshine a little later in the week. But for now, let's talk about what's happening. There's a special weather statement, and again, issued by Environment Canada this afternoon for heavy rainfall. Another 20 to 50 millimeters in this system is expected to fall. Of course, we've had so much rain over the last few days in low-lying areas. The grounds are already saturated, so there is cause for concern when it comes to flooding. This is expected to go into tomorrow. So as we take a look at our satellite radar, we can see a big storm band has just moved through Windsor. That's now pushed out. They were under a warning. They are no longer under a warning, but they are still under this special advisory for rainfall. We see lots of activity around Waterloo Region. As Tony mentioned, we heard it on the roof. It is starting just now and will continue through the overnight hours. Right now, sitting at a very comfortable 19 degrees, a very light wind at 6 kilometers an hour. But Tony, as I said, that rain is not going away, at least for the next day or so.
Yeah, we're kind of getting used to it this week. We'll get the details from you shortly. Ash, thank you. A new image tonight of the main suspect in a fatal shooting at Lambton College in Sarnia last week. Police sharing this image and identifying the person as Kwa Chin Do from London. Now, police say he is currently on the run, potentially altering his appearance and his clothing. The shooting happened early on Friday morning outside a Lambton College bar. 20-year-old Dane Nisbet was fatally shot. 2 people he was with were injured. Police say they've arrested 3 other people so far, but they've identified Doe as the gunman. The province's police watchdog has charged a Toronto police officer after a fatal shooting outside a hotel in Niagara Falls last summer. On July 30th, officers working with the province's Repeat Offender Parole Enforcement, or ROPE squad, were at the Ramada on Stanley Avenue. The Special Investigations Unit says as officers moved in to arrest a suspect for parole violations, an interaction happened and the Toronto officer shot the 40-year-old man. He was later pronounced deceased. Constable Andrew Lawson, who police say is 52 years old and assigned to the ROPE squad, faces a charge of manslaughter. Now, he has been suspended with pay and released with a court date scheduled for next month. One day after announcing a plan to increase jail capacity in Ontario, the Ford government is now trying to explain why dozens of people who were supposed to be behind bars were mistakenly let out. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris has that story.
They're supposed to be secure places to keep convicted criminals and people waiting for trial. But documents obtained by Global News through Freedom of Information show dozens of prisoners have been let out of jail over the last 5 years by mistake.
The Ford government has lost 150 criminals. They're in the wind, and we can't find them.
A problem critics say flies in the face of the Ford government's tough-on-crime posturing and promise to protect Ontario.
They are being released because this premier has allowed our correction system to become overcrowded, unsafe, and completely overwhelmed.
The government initially sidestepping the error,
For 15 years, there was no investment made in our correctional system by the opposition.
Instead, focusing on the record of the previous Liberal government.
They closed a dozen jails. We're opening up thousands and thousands of new cells to keep the criminals.
The opposition finds all of this concerning.
The Liberals and the Conservatives pointing fingers at each other, both of them trying to shirk responsibility for this, while people are wondering, where are these folks and, what were they convicted of?
After a cabinet meeting, a shift in tone from the Solicitor General.
It's unacceptable to me. It's unacceptable to the Premier.
But Michael Kersner explains it's a complicated picture with many moving parts.
We have many people moving in and out of our correctional system every day. There's a judicial system, there's an administrative system. I'm not satisfied that one person is released improperly, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
The Solicitor General's talking up a multi-billion-dollar plan to add 6,000 more jail beds over the next 25 years. That includes building new jails, refurbishing old ones, and reopening shuttered facilities. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Well, this next video we're about to show you is something the OPP are calling a wheel failure waiting to happen. It's also a timely reminder as people are getting their seasonal tire switches. This scene, shared by the Ontario Provincial Police, shows wheels wobbling on an SUV as it moves down a road. Police say it is critical that tire changes are performed properly with the wheel flush against the hub. And of course, the reminder that wheel nuts should also be retorqued. And a reminder to sign up for the CTV Kitchener newsletter and stay on top of what we're working on here in the newsroom each and every day. Content right to your inbox, including a look at the top stories, the latest forecast, and some must-see videos. You can head to our website to sign up at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Spreading hope through the power of peanut butter. Later on CTV News, Spencer Turcotte tells us about a kid who's working really hard to make sure that no one goes hungry.
I'm Karis Mapp here at a Better Tent City where the tiny home community is celebrating its 6th anniversary. Residents and organizers of the living on the property are marking the milestone by looking at how far they've all come while remaining hopeful for the future. That story is just ahead.
Well, the rain is continuing to fall, and we can expect another round of thunderstorms, this time potentially tomorrow around the noon hour. More details on when and how much rain is coming up after this. Stay with us.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
A tiny home community in Kitchener that came about as an effort to address homelessness is marking 6 years of helping people put roofs over their head. A Better Tent City has transformed now into a neighborhood of people working toward better lives. Let's go live to CTV's Karis Mapp, who is at the community along Ardelt Avenue in Kitchener. And Karis, really quite a milestone that we're talking about here.
That's right, Tony. There may not have been balloons or cake, but the residents and organizers of this community say this anniversary is significant. It brings feelings of gratitude as they reflect on their history.
I can't believe it's been 6 years. The time just, it seems like the older I get, the faster it goes.
Another year in the books for A Better Tent City, which began with a simple goal of getting people off the streets.
We had no plans, we just wanted to help with the homeless crisis. People were just homeless and just knowing where to go.
6 years later, many longtime residents are reflecting on how far the community has come.
It's been a battle, a struggle. We didn't have like water and stuff like that, and they had to build things for us to have like showers and stuff like that.
Now housing roughly 70 residents, the tiny home neighborhood welcomes all.
People who didn't want to go into shelters, people who are couples, people with pets, there was no place for them.
Now, residents can focus on bettering themselves without having to worry about where they'll lay their head at night.
Everybody has a home. They could lock their doors, feel at peace and stuff like that.
A lot of people here have mental health issues and suffering from addiction, as I do myself. But they can't picture themselves anywhere else, right? And in a big way, it became a family.
Support that some former residents say they've craved since childhood.
A lot of people don't understand what it means to have a street family. I've been on my own since I was 14, so it's a big deal.
Initially intended as transitional housing for people before they find more permanent solutions, Nadine Green says they never force someone to leave.
A lot of people are afraid when they move out, they're going to be homeless again. So people tend to stay here. They need to build more housing where people don't get kicked out.
This place has my heart, but housing, things are very expensive.
And the ones that have beat the odds never forget the help they got from their tiny home beginnings.
It helped me with the resources I needed to find stable housing, right? And then I ended up meeting somebody, and I'm living in Maryhill and doing much, much better now.
6 years down, with hopefully many more to come. As for the future, Nadine Green tells us the organization received a 2-year permit extension from the city of Kitchener, which owns the land. But she says she continues to plan to help people for however long it takes to ensure everybody has a home. Tony.
All right, quite a milestone. Karis, thank you. CTV's Karis Map joining us live from a better tent city in Kitchener. For millions of Canadians, coming into contact with tree nuts or getting stung by a bee can mean a trip to the emergency room. Many carry around life-saving medication that's injected by a needle. As CTV's Andrew Johnson tells us, though, Health Canada has now approved a nasal spray as a new option.
In the words of one doctor we spoke with today, this is a game changer for Canadians with severe allergies and for the parents of children who have to carry around an EpiPen.
This is the ability to have a life-saving device available on you that's easy to administer, almost challenging to get it wrong.
Neffy replaces the needle you jab into your thigh with a nasal spray that has a 2.5-year shelf life. The spray is now approved by Health Canada to treat anaphylaxis, the severe reaction millions of Canadians deal with because of allergies to things like peanuts, shellfish, bee stings, or insect bites. When someone goes into anaphylaxis, they may have trouble breathing, their throat or tongue can swell, and their blood pressure can plunge. These allergies may be life-threatening, so it's critical to have medication nearby. One doctor says having this new option is huge.
Carrying a needle-based epinephrine or having this as the only route of delivery causes barriers for people that, 1, don't like needles, 2, don't want to use the needle, or 3, don't want to carry the size that is required for a needle-based device.
The spray should start to appear in pharmacies by summer. Right now, it's only approved for children who weigh more than 30 kilograms, or about 65 pounds. The manufacturer says it will apply for a smaller dose to be approved for smaller kids later this year. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Lung cancer kills more Canadians than breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colon cancer combined. But for those at highest risk, early screening is proving to be a game changer. CTV's Pauline Chan has more in our health report tonight.
Hi, Doug.
Nice to see you.
Jim Prevost had been a patient at Hamilton's St. Joseph's Healthcare for COPD. He was a long-time smoker. Then in 2024, he was among the first patients recommended for their new early lung cancer screening program, even though he had no symptoms.
I wasn't totally shocked, but nobody wants to hear they got lung cancer.
He delayed treatment by a couple of days to attend his daughter's wedding, but quickly went through surgery and chemo.
I'm okay, it's good. And thanks to this program, I'm here. Because if I would have not had the program, who knows what would have happened.
When you talk about people who historically show up with lung cancer, about 75% of them would show up with advanced disease. And now with lung cancer screening, about 75 to 80% of them show up with stage 1 disease, which is highly curable. We cure 80 to 85% of them with surgical resection. And so those people go on to live a normal life.
Dr. Christian Finley says early screening has made all the difference.
So the Ontario Lung Cancer Screening Program is a province-wide program, and it's available everywhere. And it's for people between 55 and 80 who've smoked daily for more than 20 years in their life. It doesn't have to be continuously, it can just be 20 years at any point.
But while some centres have offered early screening since 2024, others have been slower. Prevost's advice for those eligible?
If you want to be alive, get the early screening.
And by this summer, St. Joe's plans to expand the early lung screening program to nearby regions such as Niagara and Brantford. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Well, we are right in the middle of a pretty heavy rainfall right now, as you can see from this live shot from our photographer Dave Pettit in Kitchener. This kind of mirrors what we're experiencing in the studio, outside the studio, I should say, right now in Kitchener's Deer Ridge area. We can hear that rain coming down on our rooftop here at the station. Ashley's back in just a couple of moments to let us know how much longer this rain's going to last and when the next round moves in. Also coming up, the King's schedule for an upcoming visit to the U.S. But next, more Liberal MPs and fewer Conservatives on Parliament Hill. We'll have the very latest on the shift that's been going on in the House of Commons. Well, we're back with Ashley to talk about the forecast, and it kind of feels like a wash, rinse, repeat this week.
Yes.
Heavy on the rinse.
Very heavy on the rinse. I don't know if our audience at home can hear it through our microphones, but it is coming down pretty heavy on our roof right now.
It always sounds quite dramatic the way it hits our roof. Ever since we moved into this new building, it's got a different type of roof than our old one did, and it sounds quite dramatic when it hits it. And sometimes when I step outside, the intensity of the rain doesn't match the dramatic sound that we hear in here, but nonetheless, everyone's getting a bit of a soaking right now.
Absolutely. Free car washes for everyone in the Kitchener area as we speak. It is going to continue to rain for a few more minutes, but we're not expecting this particular band to last all night. We're going to get a little bit of a break soon. So. You know, get out if you need to, but it is coming down at the moment. Let's take a look at our outside conditions. Dave Pettit bringing us this shot. So you can see it's starting to break up in the distance there, Tony. We are going to get a little bit of a break in this system, but one is on the way. I feel like, I said this to Colton earlier during the 5 o'clock show, I'm not sure what round of rain this is. I said 15th or 16th. Colton suggested 60th. I don't think we've had that much rain, but it certainly feels like it. It has been a continuous sort of thing over the last few days. As we turn to Environment Canada's special statement board, they've issued another one for this afternoon to talk about the incoming storm. Again, heavy rainfall expected for the next 24 hours, 20 to 50 millimeters. Flooding concerns in low-lying areas. We've had so much saturation of the ground thus far. And of course, we have some pretty big rivers in our region. So be safe if you are out near any waterways. This is expected to go into Thursday with some of the heaviest parts of the storm happening Thursday afternoon. As we take a look to our futurecast, this is the rain we're seeing right now passing through. We're getting another system near Port Stanley in London that's pushing up through the U.S. That is going to continue to come in through around 4 a.m. We'll get another little break there in the pattern, but by tomorrow afternoon, we are in for yet another one. It is looking like we will potentially see some isolated thunderstorms throughout Waterloo region up near Mount Forest. It is a very large system, so it can be dangerous at times. Of course, if the rain is very heavy or we are getting any sort of hail, thunder, lightning, if it becomes severe, make sure you take cover and take care, because it can be a little bit messy, and it will be a little bit messy at least for the next 24 hours. But good news is Friday, we're expecting some skies to clear up. Right now, what's happening across the country as we take to the west coast, it's snowing in Prince George at just 2 degrees, 8 and a bit of sunshine in Vancouver. On the other side of the Rockies, temperatures dipping a little bit there, -4 in Edmonton, -6 in Fort McMurray. As we head over the prairies, 11 in Regina, Regina, but stark difference. Saskatoon -1 with a bit of cloud cover. Snowing heavily in Thompson and 18 in Winnipeg. Very warm in Winnipeg. I have to double check that, make sure that's right. In Sudbury, 8 degrees. Windsor saw a lot of rain in the last hour or two. 21 degrees still there, but temperatures will start to cool off a little bit in the next little while. Ottawa, 9 degrees, same as Montreal. As we head to the east coast, Corner Brook sitting at 3 degrees, -1 in St. John's, and a bit of cloud cover. So a bit stormy out almost everywhere. 17 degrees in Waterloo region right now, 19 in London, 20 in Windsor and Sarnia. So temperatures again starting to fall. Not that we can call it cold, because we are sitting well above seasonal and will continue to do so over the overnight hours, only dipping down to 13 tonight. So not nearly as cold as we should be feeling for this time of year. Around 10 to 20 of those millimeters should fall through the overnight hours. We could potentially see an overnight thunderstorm. The rest of that rain expected to fall tomorrow between 10 and 15 millimeters. Daytime temperatures skyrocketing again to 19 degrees. So well and truly above seasonal for this time of year. Let's take a look at our almanac. That really helps paint that picture. Seasonal, 11 degrees and overnight lows of 2. So we are about almost double. It's so warm compared to back in 2023. We reached 27.2. So not quite as warm as the record-breaking year, but not far off it, especially when that sun came out for even just a few minutes. It creates so much humidity. It feels so much warmer. The sun is now setting at 8:05 p.m. So we are at least getting a little bit more daylight. However, if we took a look back outside, it is still getting darker with that cloud cover. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast for Waterloo region. Systems are a go when it comes to rain for the next few days, with a slight interruption on Friday. We are looking at a beautiful Friday ahead if things stay according to plan. 20 degrees and sunshine. Showers returning by Saturday, but I wanted to point out Saturday overnight. That's when temperatures are going to take a drop. We're expecting a cold front to move through, and by Sunday, temperatures then below seasonal expected for a few days. 5 degrees, potentially some snow we might even see in the forecast, as temperatures look like they might dip below 0 through the overnight hours. Good thing though, by Monday, the sun is expected to make a return. In Lambton, Kent, Essex, similar conditions there. A mix of sun and cloud for your Friday at 19 degrees. Showers returning for Saturday, but again, that temperature taking a drop by Saturday night into Sunday. 9 degrees, the expected daytime highs for Sunday and Monday. And in southern Georgian Bay, of course, very cold, not very cold, rather very wet in that region as well. 5 degrees for your Thursday. Sun returning by Friday at 18, and then Saturday overnight getting down to that 0. So it is going to be a bit of a roller coaster, Tony. Let's take a look at today's Weather Watcher picture sent in from Darlene, who says she snapped this photo of a piece of hail that fell yesterday morning around 6:45 a.m. in Inner Kip. It's about the size of a loonie. Thank you for sharing, Darlene. That is...
Wow.
You know, a tale of the seasons we're experiencing this week.
Yeah, another sign of those storms. It's been a wild week of weather.
It has been, and it will continue to be for the next day or so.
All right, Ash, thank you.
Thank you.
On Parliament Hill today, the Liberal government welcomed its newest members to mark its majority status, while the Conservatives were defending their leader following a shocking floor crossing. Here's CTV's Abigail Beeman.
A hero's welcome for the 3 MPs who secured the Liberals a majority, with newest floor crosser Marilyn Glaju front and center.
What a great group. I'm very excited to start building Canada strong for all.
And a fantastic addition.
Great, lots of love. Great to meet my new colleagues.
The Prime Minister has leaned on the word humility a lot in 24 hours.
We approach it with humility and determination. Canadians have placed their trust in the government's plan. We now have reinforcements to help implement that, and we're going to go straight to work.
But wasn't immune to asking for applause. With the caucus feeling so victorious, they cheered regular old MPs too. A stark contrast with the Conservative caucus in the basement.
Are you worried about the 4 caucus members?
Who leaned on the idea of unity.
Caucus is united and united behind a leader that has a vision.
Our caucus is united.
behind Pierre Poilievre.
Pierre Poilievre and our Conservative colleagues are the last hope to save our country. That's why we're united.
In the face of 4 floor crossers, not everyone shared their thoughts.
What can Conservatives do to make their message resonate more with Canadians?
While one MP put it simply.
What needs to change for the party to go up in the polls?
More votes.
Poilievre said this week he isn't going anywhere, as the Liberals say they're still talking with potential floor crossers, and everyone wonders about the next move with a razor-thin majority. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canadians are reacting to a new warning from the International Monetary Fund that a further escalation in the Iran war could trigger a global recession. Let's go to CTV's Scott Hurst for more on that.
The ongoing war and the ripple effect it is having on global markets will likely lead to more pain for Canadian consumers and businesses.
Downside risks are clearly very elevated.
That's the blunt message from the International Monetary Fund. The IMF is cutting its growth outlook and saying the global economy is threatened with being thrown off course. It is warning of a potential for global recession if the Iran war worsens and further impacts energy prices. This assumes the energy supply disruption continues into next year and oil stays above $100 per barrel through 2027. It all adds yet another layer of uncertainty for Canadians.
We are going to see higher inflation. We've already been experiencing it at the pumps. We know it's coming for the grocery stores. It's really going to come in almost every product category that Canadians buy. And we're also likely to see impacts on the employment side because of cutbacks to investments by businesses.
The IMF says the global outlook has abruptly darkened following the outbreak of the war, and that prior to the conflict, it says it was on track to upgrade its growth outlook. It appears, however, the U.S. and Iran may be close to agreeing to a second round of talks after the first meeting last weekend failed to reach any sort of agreement. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Buckingham Palace has released more details about the King's upcoming trip to the United States. The King will address a joint meeting of Congress and will meet privately with President Trump. The King and Queen Camilla will make a number of appearances in Washington, New York, and Virginia. The focus will be the 250th anniversary of American independence. Now, this state visit happens at a time when Trump has repeatedly criticized the UK Prime Minister for not offering enough support for the war with Iran. Airbags deploying for no reason. Just ahead, consumer reporter Pat Foran looks into a rare case of a mishap. Airbags have been standard safety equipment in vehicles since 1999, and although it's rare, they could deploy without warning over rough road conditions or something triggering their sensors. CTV's Pat Foran has the story of a truck owner who says his went off for no reason.
I was driving, I was 10 minutes away from home. It was terrifying.
Victor Sanchez in Mississauga says it was in February when he was driving his 2025 Ram 1500 truck. He says without warning, the airbags deployed.
My airbags went off with no collision. It was both my curtains and both my seats.
Sanchez says the loud bang startled him and almost caused him to lose control.
I only felt like a huge explosion. My hazard lights went on. I was disoriented at the moment. Pretty scary, to be honest.
He says he was glad it's a newer truck still under warranty because he was told replacing the airbags and other components of the safety system would cost $15,000 to $20,000.
All my headliner has to be replaced. My seats need to be replaced. All my seat belts need to be replaced, and all the modules.
Sanchez took the truck to his dealer and was told there would have to be an investigation. It's been over a month, and he says he can't get answers. When CTV News reached out to Stellantis Canada, a spokesperson said data from the vehicle's occupant restraint control module indicates the vehicle was beginning to tip, and multiple onboard systems predicted a rollover event. The airbag deployment operated as designed and no manufacturing defect was identified. Stellantis said since there was no defect, the cost will not be covered, adding warranties do not cover repairs required due to fire, accidents, abuse, negligence, and misuse. Sanchez worries he'll now be out of pocket for the repairs and the rental car he's been driving. He didn't expect to have such a large repair bill on a newer vehicle.
We're talking about a $90,000 truck I just bought. It was my dream truck. I worked for 5 years allowed to buy it, and I haven't been able to use it. And I'm still responsible for car payments, insurance.
And that was CTV's Pat Foran reporting. Colton Wiens joining us in studio now with a look at our top stories. Colton, we have the latest on a murder trial that was supposed to get into closing arguments today.
It was, Tony. A Brantford court was set to hear the final arguments in the case of Elfgard Outred. She's accused of killing her husband, but as jurors arrived in court, they were told something sudden and unexpected came up that prevented Elfgard's lawyer from attending court. Closing arguments are now expected tomorrow. Plus, Waterloo Regional Police sharing details on their deployment during unsanctioned St. Patrick's Day gatherings last month. Police saying they were able to disperse the crowd safely in the mid-afternoon this year, but the cost of policing did increase by about $12,000 this time around.
And Colton, looking at what our digital team is working on, we've been reporting a lot lately on a certain kind of theft, and police want people to be on the lookout for suspicious activity in one area.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. Ontario Provincial Police say there's been copper wire thefts in the Wellington County area, saying a male was seen removing approximately 25 meters of wire near Lake Road in Puslinch Township. They're encouraging people to report anything suspicious that they see. For more information on this story, you can scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get the story on our CTV News app or to download the app right now. You can also visit our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Tony.
Okay, Colton Wiens with our top stories and the latest from our digital team. Thanks, Colton. Some new stats about how often high school students are actually attending class. Ontario's Education Ministry says just 40% of high school students in the province went to school at least 90% of the time during the last school year. Now, that is a drop of nearly 20% from before the pandemic. Earlier this week, the province announced measures to try to boost attendance in high schools, saying it's now going to account for 10 to 15% of final marks, depending on which grade the student is in. And the province is easing rules on drinking alcohol in provincial parks. Adults aged 19 and older will now be allowed to consume alcohol in most areas of provincial parks. Drinking will no longer be limited to individual campsites, but existing rules will stay in place around things like public intoxication, underage possession or consumption, and open alcohol in vehicles and boats. Parks will also use signage to clearly identify some areas where alcohol will be prohibited. For example, sites of cultural or historical significance, or where it's unsafe. Two members of the Royal Canadian Navy are facing multiple charges following an investigation into the death of a petty officer with the military. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth is in Halifax, where the incident took place last year.
For generations, this has been a major military port. The Navy has sailed out of these waters in times of war and peace. Now it's the backdrop for an investigation into the death of Petty Officer Second Class Gregory Applin, who died in Halifax in January of 2025. The Navy says Applin died as a result of an incident during small boat operations in Bedford Basin, which is a body of water attached to Halifax Harbour. Following the death of Applin last year, the Canadian Fleet Atlantic commander described how a vessel called a rib overturned in the basin.
As the rib was en route back to dockyard, an incident occurred which caused the rib to capsize, throwing both sailors into the water.
And now charges have been laid. Master Sailor David Terry has been charged with criminal negligence causing bodily harm and negligent performance of military duties. Sailor First Class Alexandra Garrison faces the same charge, along with dangerous operation of a conveyance, which is a vehicle causing death. In a statement, the Navy said those accused deserve every opportunity to defend themselves. Applin was a weapons engineering technician who joined the Navy in 2005. He was 38. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
Feeling like a Blue Jay for a day. Just ahead, students hitting the field for a very special day at the park. Hundreds of kids got a chance to feel like one of the Toronto Blue Jays this afternoon. They got to hit the field and take part in a number of baseball activities. CTV's Allison Hurst has more.
Cheers as each school is announced and students take the field for the Jays Care All-Star Series.
It's really fun here, and I like it here.
My first time at the Blue Jays Stadium.
Various stations are set up in the outfield, teaching the 600 students daily a love of baseball through activities and drills.
It's been fun. I enjoyed the games. My favorite game was the bowling one.
The Jays Care All-Star Series runs for 3 days, hosting a total of 1,800 kids from 60 schools.
I think it's really incredible that we got to come here and try all these different activities, and I really enjoy it.
Sebastian Kipp has watched the team play, but being on the field is a home run for him.
It feels almost surreal because like from the stands it looks like everybody's down there and they look so small, but once you're really here it feels like very different and like it's a good experience.
All the schools participating are from across the GTHA.
Yeah!
We try to empower children and youth that may not have the opportunity to participate in sport and baseball and to feel like they're a part of a community and to feel like they are building skills like resiliency and confidence and belonging. That's really the core of our programs.
Sufyan Gohar came with his brother Youssef and not only got a bit of a tour, but also ended up getting to keep a piece of the game.
I got a baseball from Ace. And we got a tour from where the bullpen is and inside, so we got to walk there because my brother, he's in a wheelchair, so we took the elevator down.
Up on the concourse, there are more activities for the kids to participate in, and a few fans with a message for star slugger George Springer.
Springer, we hope you feel better soon, and we're just going to say good luck.
The Jays Care All-Star Series runs until tomorrow. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
Now, interestingly enough, Ashley, as I hand it back over to you, we're going to get a soaking tonight, but Milwaukee is in the path of some massive rain right now as well. That's where the Jays are set to take on the Brewers again tonight. The game almost got postponed or delayed last night because of all this rain.
Well, see, they should have played at home in Toronto because the Skydome at least has the Skydome. I'm aging myself. Has the roof. You know, it is definitely a dome closed kind of night and will continue to be so as we continue to be under a special weather statement for rain. More details on what we're waking up to after this. Stay with us. It's too rainy to be out tonight. Stay in and watch E-Talk at 7, followed by Scrubs at 7:30, MasterChef at 8, The Floor at 9, and then cap your night off with Shark Tank at 10.
Tonight, investigating the charges facing 2 Navy members.
As the rib was en route back to dockyard, an incident occurred.
What led to the death of a Canadian Armed Forces sailor? We'll have that story and more later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
All right, we are back and we're going to join Colton Weens one more time for a look at something we are watching for, actually something we're watching right now, Colton.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. The Brantford Bulldogs are looking to sweep their second round series in North Bay tonight and right now. Game 4 was supposed to be played last night, but the OHL postponed it because of flooding in North Bay. Tonight's Game 4 is now underway. Brantford is already up 3-1 after the first period. And we'll be keeping an eye on the tractor-trailer rollover at Highway 6 and the 401 tonight as emergency crews continue cleaning that up. Tony.
All right, Colton, thank you. And, you know, nice to know when it comes to the Bulldogs that a little bit of a rain flood delay didn't throw them off their game, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Because that's, you know, you're out of town, you're in a different city, the game's not when it's supposed to be. I just assume that could cause a wrinkle in the matrix somehow.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we've got the Rangers coming up tomorrow night in the Soo.
Yes.
So another away game. And hopefully they sweep that series. But if not, we'll see them back here Friday night at the Odd. But I love hockey playoffs. I could talk about it all day.
If they both sweep on the road, I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. Okay, let's take a quick look at our wake-up weather board, get an idea. Oh, first, let's take a look. A reminder, 20 to 50 millimeters of rain expected through the overnight hours. So do take care if you're out and about. When we wake up tomorrow, you guessed it, rain, 15 degrees, but 17 by 10 a.m., so at least it's warm and rainy.
That's right. The temperature is at least tolerable. We'll say that.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, finally for us, spreading hope through the power of peanut butter. That's become a mission for a young man with Down syndrome. He's been collecting jars as he leads a community effort to make sure that kids don't go hungry in Waterloo Region.
As CTV's Spencer Turcotte tells us, he has got more on a wish to make other people's wishes come true.
Caleb is a regular volunteer at Food for Kids Waterloo Region.
Help others and friends and families.
He's always lending a helping hand.
Caleb has always been very helpful and very caring, so it's not out of character for him.
So when the organization, which supports nearly 1,500 food insecure children in Waterloo Region, decided to launch their 5th annual peanut butter campaign, staff said they'd be nuts not to ask Caleb to be a part of it.
Caleb already volunteers here every week, and so he already has our mission in his mind.
It just so happens that Caleb's 20th birthday falls in between the April through June peanut butter campaign. His birthday wish, to crush last year's campaign numbers.
Last year, 4,160 jars came in.
Caleb knew he'd also need help putting a dent in that number, so his dad Carl stepped in.
I also contacted 4 local businesses, Brady's Meats, Maison Cuckoo Patisserie in Waterloo, Sweet Dreams Tea Shop in Waterloo, as well as Moose Winooski's in Kitchener to be our local drop-off sites.
Word spread fast and things got off to a smooth start with jars piling up. Caleb at points looking like the peanut butter prince overlooking the collection from his jam-packed throne. The number of jars he set out to collect was
200.
But that goal is stuck in the past. He's collected
and over his 300.
That's a lot of peanut butter.
Jarring numbers like that are exactly what Food for Kids needs in order to meet their overall 5,000 jar goal. And if you're looking to help out, Caleb is still accepting donations from the drop-off sites.
You will allow it 100%. Sure.
A simple idea that's not only filling shelves, but bellies too. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News Kitchener.
First of all, way to go, Caleb.
Amazing effort.
Incredible effort. Side note, glad we had Spencer on that story because like us, he's a big peanut butter fan.
We probably would have eaten some of it.
We can't get enough. See you at 11:30.